game of the night here at the Senior League Softball World Series. Lower Sussex Little League Complex in Frankfort, Delaware. The lower of Delaware, about 2.5 hours from the nearest city, but about 20 minutes from the beach. A lot of beach, a lot of softball, 10 teams in pool play, 8 advancing to our single elimination bracket here in Senior League Softball, ages 13 to 16 years of age. And right now, the Philippines in a really good spot at 2-0. Our Southwest champions from Texas looking for their first win at 0-2. Alongside the former 2-time SEC champion Riley West, my name is Joel Godet. Glad to have you along with us. First time we've seen Asia Pacific and the Philippines, but a team that's got a great history in this tournament.
Yeah, great history and a great start to their tournament, scoring a lot of runs, being able to limit the runs scored against them. Always starts in the mound, being able to be versatile with the different pitchers that they have put on the mound.
As you get a look at Tony Puente and his batting order for this team from Texas that made it here in walk-off fashion, gave up the lead, and then got it back in the 7th inning to make it to the Senior League World Series. Manny Puente cleans up, plays at first base. Trevino and Amadiz had the 2 hits at the bottom of the order for this team in their last game, trying to get their offense going. They're going to have to do it today against Princess Siason. Their favorite softball player is Jenny Finch. Pretty good idol to have if you're going to stand in the circle.
Yeah, definitely. And the first lefty pitcher we have seen on this field today, so definitely having the advantage with the amount of right-handed pitchers in this tournament. Sionson is a lefty that throws hard, likes to work her curveball, so that's going to go into righty batters. Just being able to spot it on both sides of the plate. And like you said, Jenny Finch, her idol. What an idol to have. Someone who paved the way for softball to be played at all levels, especially on TV.
The defense behind her with 3 evangelistas. 1 in center field, 1 in shortstop, 1 at second base up the middle. And Sheena Joy Panteria, one of the veterans of this team, does the catching. Their defensive star, one of their offensive stars as well. We'll talk about the offense of the Philippines more when they come up to bat, but they've got big bats. The question for this team from Texas, can they find some bats today and keep their bracket alive as they go into the final day of pool play tomorrow?
Yeah, this Texas team, 2 tough losses. Really got to play with that chip on your shoulder. And it starts first inning, trying to get ahead.
Avaloera to lead things off. "15-year-old in her first year of high school in the Philippines. She is the Swiss Army knife of this roster. And a strike at the top of the zone.
Yeah, we've seen Avaloera multiple times in this tournament switch positions in the box, going from righty and lefty, usually goes to righty after 2 strikes in her count. And that's where you get the Swiss Army knife.
Swings through it, it's 1-2. And she calls time. And there it is. What do you think about this?
I mean, I've never been a switch hitter, so I know how difficult this can be because it's hard enough to be on one side of the box and get hits, but the timing, it looks different in the right-hander's box than it does the left, so she's getting 2 different timings in one at-bat.
Third baseman came in, doesn't matter. Line drive back up the middle for out number 1.
And Avaloera, like we just said, switched from lefty to righty, still is on time, hits a line drive up the middle. But Princess Siason able to glove it up the middle.
She'll face the Texas Longhorns fan, Mia Mesa, 14 years of age, having just completed 8th grade. This is a very young Texas team. And a first pitch strike.
Yeah, this Texas team has been together since about 2021-ish, 2022. In 2022, Northwest Little League was on the verge of being dismantled. And these are the group of girls whose parents said, no way, we're not letting that happen. signed all of their girls up to play, and they're still playing together today. So yes, they're young, but they're very well bonded from all the years that they've gotten to play together.
And with that build, here's the 1-1. It's fouled away. This is now the first time in almost 20 years that Northwest Little League, San Antonio, Texas, has been represented on this stage. And I love what they did when they got here. They won their regional in walk-off fashion. And then they got Raising Cane's and watched a scary movie. 1-2. Slapped foul.
Now, I don't think you can go wrong with some Raising Cane's. Some chicken strips. I can go wrong with the scary movie, though. I'm not a big fan of scary movies. These girls are pretty brave. I might be a chicken when it comes to scary movies.
While eating chicken?
Maybe I could do it if I was eating some Raising Cane's at the same time. Focus on the food, not the movie.
I mean, it's a big range. Like, are we talking Scream or are we talking, like, The Exorcist? 2-2.
And, you know, I would know nothing about either because, like I said, not into scary movies. Maybe we can ask some of these Texas players after the game what scary movies they prefer.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Mia Mesa. Really good job to hang in there and foul away a couple.
Yeah, good at bat from Mesa in the 2-hole, fouling pitches off. Especially, this is the first time they have seen Asia Pacific. And so just figuring out pitch by pitch what Sionsa can throw in the circle.
7th pitch. Puts this in play. Base hit. Keep yourself alive. Get yourself on. And don't say you'll be right back.
It's a really incredible at-bat by Mesa. Good timing, especially with the variety of speeds that she faced. Took a pitch that was kind of on the outside corner, pulled it a little bit towards left center. But when you stay on the ball, meaning contact, extension throughout the same plane, it usually ends up in the outfield.
So the table is set for Ellie Cuellar. Good looking first pitch. And now see what Texas does on the base paths. They were not on base a lot in their last game, so we don't really know what they're going to try to do when given the opportunity. They did not have their first hits until the 5th inning in their loss to Delaware. I tell you, they're swinging away here.
They are, and their coaches told us when we asked them kind of about their offense, they said they're a combination of power and speed on the bases. So with that speed on the bases, you got to get them on. But with these swings that we've already seen in the game, it's kind of looking like a different Texas team than we've seen the previous 2 days.
Ciason's pitch. Not a strike, but a good swing and an 0-2 count. Like, I like the fight from this Texas team.
Yeah, definitely. Watch how tall the catcher Pantera is behind the plate. She's basically telling her pitcher, throw it.
Little dribbler, and that is a foul ball.
There's a lot of conversation and communication happening between catcher Pantera and Princess Ciason, the pitcher, in between pitches. A great job by batter Cuellar to foul that changeup off.
6 foul balls so far. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You talk about a team that's struggled offensively. Take me in their mindset. Hey, we want to get going. We want to be aggressive. What do you see 3 batters in, considering where they've been?
Yeah, honestly, one word, fighting. They've definitely been fighting more than we've seen. And having taken 2 losses, sometimes a loss narrows your focus down even more. Coaches always say you learn more from losses than you do wins. As a player, you don't like to hear that because you always like to win. But you can definitely tell that this Texas offense has learned a few things in the box from the previous 2 games.
2-2 to Cuellar. Ground ball. Bobbled at third. Safe. Credit over at the hot corner to Herodias to stay with it. Good speed by Cuellar.
Just Herodias at third base didn't charge it as much as I think she should have, so it gave Cuellar, the batter, the chance to get down the line, including the bobble.
And we'll see whether or not this is going to be a challenge for Rodolfo Ipuropong.
And it would be a gutsy challenge in the first inning, but at the same time, the way that the energy feels on Texas side, it might be worth it to kind of shut down some of the momentum.
And it is going to be a challenge. You get 2 of these. They continuously replenish if you keep getting them right. If you don't, you get 2 of these.
And if you get it right, you keep it. If you don't, you lose it. So this doesn't go in the Philippines' favor. They'll be down to 1 challenge that they'll have to save for the rest of the game, which is a tough position to be in because you kind of want to save 1 towards the 6th and 7th inning in case there's a really close call. But if you're confident enough and you continue to keep them, then why not use them?
It's the second game that Siason has worked in the circle. As we get another look. She only threw 1 inning in her last start. So still trying to get her feet underneath herself in the circle as well. And she's safe.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this is going to be overturned. The ball definitely wasn't in the glove of Gonzalez there at first base, as Cuellar, the runner, her front foot is touching the front of the bag, and that's the most important part about this play, is where Cuellar, the base runner, hits first base. If she hits the top of the bag, she's probably going to be out, but because she hits the front of the bag, that's something you learn at a really young age, what part to hit on the bag. So that's the difference between safe and out. We've said it a lot, softball is a game of inches, so it's those little things that really matter, especially in close ball games.
Ham Estrada's our first base umpire. He made the call. Little umpiring 101 for you, too. He's watching the bag, listening for the ball. So if you ever think to yourself, well, how come he didn't see that? How can he see that? They watch the bag. They listen for the ball in the mitt. And then whichever one comes first is what the call typically winds up being, if you get it right. So an early challenge for Ipuropong.
I really enjoyed talking to the last shot, the Philippine staff. They talked about how grateful that their girls are to be here. What a great experience, and how excited they've been since they came. A really long travel to get here, though. They said 13 hours from the Philippines to San Francisco, then another 5 from San Francisco to Philly, and then they had to drive from Philly down here. So really long travel days, but that doesn't lack or doesn't knock any of the excitement of their players.
I love how Rodolfo put it. He said, we had all those flights, and then once we got to Philly, still 2 more hours by land. And safe is the call. So the Philippines have just 1 challenge remaining, and you can see the 1 finger coming up from the Philippines dugout. That is a 13-hour flight. That's like that's a 6-movie flight.
Like I said to you off air, I'm not a really big movie person, so that's a long flight for me without some movies.
That's a 2-book flight. Way high. I guess it depends on which movie.
Yeah, I did actually watch The Odyssey recently. Didn't know going into it how long it was going to be. And so.
Oh, it was shorter than it could have been. Good hacks. 1 and 1.
Yeah, I'm really liking the swings, the aggressive swings by this Texas team. Their first 2 games, their first 2 losses They were taking a lot of pitches, being more patient in the box. And now the aggression has paid off for them. The 2 base runners, less than 2 outs.
And we'll get a new ball. Madeline Puente, the batter, her favorite movie is The Conjuring. So I guess that answers the scary movie thing. 2 balls and a strike. This has turned into softball for cinephiles.
Puente, they said, is a true leader on this team. So I bet she led her team into going to watch that scary movie when they arrived.
2 on, 1 out, 2-1. Texas just needs something to break their way. You just want that 1 inning. Does that make it so much easier for you as a team?
Absolutely. It almost feels like you have permission to continue to score. It might be just a softball saying, but when you score, you break open the floodgates. It feels like now you can do it every single time you're up to bat.
And the bases are loaded. Single error walk. Bases full. And I just heard change positions come from Rodolfo Iparong. So it may be a short-lived day in the circle for Siason. And that is indeed what happens. So we'll get a new pitcher here for Asia Pacific. Carlene Jade Santos, who was already in the starting lineup. She was the starting left fielder.
And her coaches described her as calm and delivers when she is needed. She has a steady focus. She's also the fastest pitcher on their staff. So definitely a change up in mentality that this Texas team is going to have to bring. The lefty, Siason, wasn't as fast, a little bit more crafty, spinny. And now Jade Santos going to bring in some of the heat.
Favorite singer's Taylor Swift. Again, but favorite celebrity is Bruno Mars. I feel like if you're the favorite celebrity and you're a singer, you automatically are the favorite singer. I don't know how what are the rules of the game?
We're just putting in a variety. One of our favorite parts, if you couldn't tell, is going through all of these player surveys, getting to learn not only how they are on the field, but their interests and hobbies off the field. It's really fun to learn about all of these players, especially from different countries. I've learned a lot about different foods, international artists as well.
We didn't even get to talk about the moose steak during the Canada game.
Yeah, different foods, different cultures, and that's what the coaches told us when we asked them what this experience means to their players. They said that the favorite part, a lot of them, yes, it is softball, but most of them, it's getting to be able to talk to, stay in the dorms with teams from different countries, learn about different cultures. So we're learning about them. Teams are learning about each other. It's just a ton of fun.
Straight up swap between the pitcher and the left fielder, and that gets by Panteria and scores a run. Texas on the board for just the 5th time in this tournament, off and running here in the first.
This one just gets away from Panteria, the catcher. She didn't go for a block, but nice hustle, but even better hustle by Mia Mesa, the base runner for Texas. And this Texas crowd just got pretty loud. You got the feeling, like we talked about, the floodgates, they just want to bust them open.
Sanchez ahead in the count. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
This is kind of some of the energy we saw yesterday with Texas. When they were on the verge of being in that run rule territory, they scratched across a run, and you couldn't tell what the score said on the scoreboard because of how loud their dugout was, how loud their fans were. And softball's a game of momentum, and so you can create momentum just by being loud in the dugout, but in this case, they're being loud because of their play on the field, and that's leading their dugout to be even louder.
2-1. Grounder. Right back to the pitcher. Coming home in time. Now that wasn't a force.
And kind of a gutsy play by Jade Santos to go home.
This is going to be a challenge.
And I think rightfully so, because watch how close this is into the catcher Panteria.
Gloria Emiliano.
And the runner Cuellar didn't slide. We saw that actually the last play of the previous game with Canada. The final play went to a challenge based on a force out at 2. The base runner did not slide. And sliding would have changed both of those plays. Here, Cuellar didn't slide coming into home. And based on where the throw was for Panteria, the catcher, it was kind of belt high or higher. And so if she caught the ball belt high and then had to place a tag on the ground with the foot, there's no way she would have been able to tag Cuellar out at home. So we've seen it twice now, how important it is to slide at every play, especially on close plays.
Now, how do you slide at home? Is she going foot first to the plate? Is she going foot first but trying to reach with her hand to the plate?
I think she could go right in foot first on this one. Obviously depends on how bang this play was going to be. But I think she would have easily gotten in there if she just went foot first to the closest part of the plate. Look at how high.
Into the tag, basically.
Yeah, look at how high that throw was. There's no way if she slid that tag could have been applied. Panteria would have had to crouch down, bend those knees, and still apply a tag. And this is still bang standing up, so just another reason to always slide if you're a player watching at home. Would have just made it a little less close and wouldn't have to go to a challenge. But I do think this call will probably stand. I don't see any evidence that would overturn it. The tag looks to be applied as the foot is hovering over home plate, so not quite landed on home plate.
As it stands, Sanchez advancing to second base. Puente advancing to third. Cuellar was the batter out at home.
I thought that was a good job by the pitcher, Carlene Jade Santos, to test it, go home on it, save a run from scoring. Just so happened Cuellar didn't slide, so made for her throw to lead to a good tag by Panteria. Quick tag. Just watch how she lets this ball travel towards her and then immediately lays on a good tag. That angle was a little bit harder to tell. It almost looked like Cuellar's foot got in there, but I think they're about to make the call.
So Cuellar is out. And now both outs in the inning have been recorded on comebackers to the pitcher. Line drive to the pitcher, single, error, walk, ground ball to the pitcher. And just one run right now for Texas with 2 outs. The threat very much still alive though. Gloria Emiliano with 2 in scoring position.
And Joel, I don't know if I've ever called or played a game where both teams have lost a challenge in the very first inning.
Big, healthy cut and a miss. That had to look huge though. Emiliano knows it. That was right down the pipe. Oh for 3 in the tournament. Behind 0-2.
Santos, the fastest pitcher on this Philippines team. And her delivery is a little bit unique. She kind of slow comes towards the batter and then that arm whips around. So it makes it harder for the timing of the batter to match the pitcher's motion. That's what I always try to do when I was getting into my load. I match the pitcher's motion and usually that let me get my front foot down on time, but just seems like a little bit of a delay on Santos's release. Add on the speed, it's tough.
Swings through it. Down on strikes, and the Philippines, they were in trouble. Give up just 1. Bottom 1 next. Philippines down 1-0 here as we go to the home half of the first, but offense is not really an issue with this team. Riley untied, unscored upon in the regional round, and they themselves put up more than 120 runs.
Now that sounds like basketball numbers, 120 runs throughout their summer. Just phenomenal of getting on base, using their speed, aggressive base running. I'm really excited. This is our first time having the Philippines on this field. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Good luck to Gianna Amadiz, who makes her second appearance in the circle in this tournament.
Yeah, we've seen her before. She has a really good rise. That's her best pitch, but she has also great command of the zone. So she likes to go up and spot her rise ball in different counts, but induces a lot of pop-ups. So for the Philippines, needing to stay top half of the ball and put some pressure on this defense.
Working with Gloria Emiliano as her battery.
Leading off for the Philippines.
Philippines scored 21, 26, 29, and 21 in their regional games. They beat Guam to advance here to the Senior League World Series in the championship, 21-0.
Now that sounds like football game numbers.
Got a bunt show pulled back. 1 ball and no strikes to Rena Rose Evangelista, one of 3 Evangelistas in the lineup. Relaine and Melissa will bat 7th and 8th as Amadiz skips one home.
Marlena's her sister, Melissa is her cousin. I had to clarify that with the staff when we met with them. I was like, are we having 3 sisters? And she explained, cousin, sister. How fun is that to be able to play with your family members on this stage? It gives you a little bit more comfort and familiarity when you're traveling, as long as it has been for them to get here.
And there's ball 4. Evangelista aboard. Nadrell Herodias bats in the 2 spot. They've got a bunch of family members on this team. Rosalind Moyos and Ronalyn Moyos. Although the Santoses are not related, Janeri and Carlene Jade. Herodias has a couple RBI. 3 hits in the tournament and is ahead. 5 straight out of the zone for Amadiz.
She likes to throw the rise ball, but rise ball pitchers are effective by getting ahead and then using that as a chase pitch later in the count.
That one well low. Down to second base goes Evangelista. How do you set the rise ball up most effectively?
You can also start with the low rise, so still using your off spin that you trust, but maybe starting it at the knee so it rises to maybe mid-thigh, or mid-thigh that rises to the belt. But she's just having a little bit of command issues. So having been a former catcher, I might flash my glove for my pitcher so she can find the right spot.
Corners are very much expecting either a bunt or a slap. They were 10 feet from the plate, but that is 8 straight out and 2 aboard via the walk here to start things for the Philippines. Now Sheena Joy Panteria, who's 5 of 8 in the tournament, with 5 knocked home, the catcher, and takes the first strike, and that hopefully settles in Amadiz.
Panteria, she said she's most looking forward to the different types of softball being played. I don't know if that counts as the corners being 10 feet away from you.
A little bit high, 1-1.
But kind of going back to our conversation about how grateful the Philippines were to be in this position and spend the time in the dorms with other teams. Just learning other cultures is the beauty of this tournament.
I mean, this sounds silly, but like, have you ever met somebody from the Philippines? I mean, maybe. Did you know it? Maybe not. Like, it puts you in different cultural situations, especially in this age group. That is eye-opening for a lot of these girls.
Definitely at this age group. I think that's the important part of they're having these experiences at kind of times in their life where they're growing up and can utilize these experiences for the rest of their lives.
Look how shallow the outfield is, too, by the way. That's ripped foul. There are almost 7 infielders. There's like a second infield back there.
Yeah, and after that swing from Penteria, you almost think that, yeah, left field took a few steps back after that one.
Way high. That's ball 4. So the bases are loaded via the walk. And that brings up Erica May Gonzalez. Couple of doubles, couple of RBI, 4 hits in the tournament. And the thing you don't want to do to a team that scores 100 runs, free base runners.
Absolutely, because this just gives them confidence that now they don't even have to score with a base hit. They can put runners in motion, maybe even a ground ball go, meaning your base runners are going on anything. Well, force at home, they have to go on anything, but what I'm saying is you don't have to score with the base hit. You can create some chaos, maybe even a potential squeeze. Just putting pressure on the defense, and this defense is pinched in, going for the out at home. We've seen teams give up runs to get outs early in ball games, like the middles playing back, maybe trying to turn a double play, get the lead runner at second, then try and turn one, but Texas defense pinched in, clearly going for the force out at home.
What'd you think about the bunt show by Gonzalez? Because why necessarily give up an out when there hasn't been a show that Texas can get one yet?
I think it's honestly just to be in the face of the catcher, Emiliano, behind the plate, and also because Amadis is struggling to find the strike zone at times. Sometimes it messes with pitcher's eyes, so you're not necessarily showing bunt to put a bunt down, but maybe just to see how the pitcher reacts.
2-1 is smoked foul. That is Gonzalez absolutely way too ready.
Just a little bit early, but swinging the bat is how you're able to tell if you're on time or not. You can tell if you're on time a bit by getting to your hitting position, but the best tool is to swing the bat. So now she knows maybe let the ball travel a little bit longer. But the adjustment she made is she actually is now standing at the very front of the box, almost to the point that if she takes too long of a step, she might be out of the box on the front side.
This has to be a strike. And it's an out. Gonzalez popping out to the catcher. Bases still loaded, but 1 down.
Great job by Amadis to battle back. Look at this pitch. Because the batter Gonzalez has moved up in the box, the pitch got on her a little bit faster. So jammed her a bit, got her to be underneath it. And Milano doing a good job of finding the ball immediately in the air.
And this is the guitar playing, vinyl collecting Jax Fontias. First pitch swinging, 0-1. During the regular season is 21. She said somebody stole her number somewhere along the way, so she flipped it and became 12, but they get new numbers in this tournament, so she is 21 again. Bases loaded for Fontias. Bases are a little bit less loaded. Flies out to center field, and that gets 1 home for the tie. That was very hard hit, but just the one.
And that's the beauty of runners on base less than 2. Doesn't take a hit, but this one hit hard enough. An outside pitch kind of pulled to center field. Did a good job of staying on plane with the ball to create that line drive. Lots of pop off the bat. That tells me that you're on time, you're using your hips, your bottom half.
There was an error on the play that allowed Penteria to move to second base after the fact. Herodias tagging to go to third.
And that ball, the throw that went all the way home, kicked away from Emiliano behind the plate. With this Texas team, we talk about them being on the younger side. They're little plays like that, that when you don't really have a good shot at getting the out at home, you want to cut the ball, meaning prevent the runner from tagging from from first to second, and kind of split the runners up versus 2 now in scoring position.
That bat's got bad juju.
Sometimes you just get a feeling in the box. A bat doesn't feel right, immediately you want to switch things out.
And she's ahead of the count. That's her bunting bat. Never mind. 2-2. Starting pitcher today off the hook for the Philippines. Princess Siason struggled a little bit, got the early hook, but now all tied up at 1.
Our coaches told us that she is calm in all situations, and so you don't see anything phasing her.
Chopper toward first. How about Texas? They get out of it, allowing 1 run. Bases loaded, nobody out on 3 walks. Philippines don't get a hit. Tied up.
Score is 1-1.
The road here to Delaware for the team from San Antonio. They won the Southwest Regional, and that one loss was to the Sinton team, Texas East, that they came back to beat in walk-off fashion in the regional final. They were down by 3 runs with 2 outs in the 7th. Avaloera sent one over the right fielder's head, scored a runner from first for the walk-off victory, and San Antonio able to springboard from that to this stage. That's why the coaches say they have a lot of grit, and that's why being 0-2, you're not counting them out.
Yeah, you cannot at all, especially because you just said it. They were down with 2 outs, so even tighter situations. And you saw a little bit of that fight yesterday. I mentioned it earlier. They were in run rule territory, able to scratch a run across, keep the game going, keep the life for the team.
This is Emma Trevino to lead things off. And ahead in the count. Has a collection of Taekwondo belts, which I feel like is just a low-key way of telling us that she has collected a lot of elevated belt statuses through her Taekwondo journey. Bottom third of the order. That just caught the inside corner to even things up.
I really like that spot by Carlene Jade Santos, staying low in the zone. That's a hard pitch. Down and in is one of the hardest pitches for right-handed batters to be able to get their barrel to.
Right down the pipe. And Santos, before that last pitch, aligned her defense a little differently. They'll do it again here. One and 2 to the 7-hitter. Got her. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the first and start the second. And now the pitcher, Gianna Amadiz.
And Santos' first pitch of her game was a wild pitch in the dirt, and she has since then settled in. Good spin. Had some arm side run going into the right-handed batter. Just continued to move by inches as it was crossing the plate.
Wide open stance for Amadiz. Healthy cut. Both teams dealing with a lot of adversity in the first inning. How do you feel if you're Amadis? You walk the first 3 batters, you get out of it giving up 1 run.
It's just got to give you some confidence in your stuff and the players that are around you.
I would say probably more the people behind you, that your team hung with you, that they made the plays to help get you out of it. The play at home. Third swing and miss for Santos here in the second. 1-2.
Now it looks like Amadis is on time. Fouled it straight back. That tells you you just missed it. So usually pitchers, they try and go now with an off speed. They throw off the batter's timing.
Lays off the low one. Amaya Nuniko is next, then the lineup turns over. Run scored, as Riley alluded to, on that wild pitch last inning. Second pitcher of the game is Santos. In on the hands. Good foul job to keep it 2-2. Walk me through the motion for Santos. Really long-limbed. It almost looks like she comes close to scraping the ground on her delivery. Is that more difficult to track, same to track if you're a hitter?
Yeah, long arms for pitchers are a plus. It allows them to have more whip, so Santos high velocity, those long arms help her.
Grounder towards second. It scooted a little bit on Evangelista, but she sticks with it, and there are 2 down.
Now that one almost snuck under the glove of Evangelista there at second base. Watch as she goes down, barely snow cones it, but staying low, it always works in your favor as an infielder, keeping the ball in front. Santos settled in, rolling ground balls, got a strikeout this inning as well. She's working both sides of the plate and hitting corners, not pitching in much on the white.
First pitch, swing and a miss for Nuncio. Her favorite sport to play is basketball. Here at the Senior League Softball World Series. Fouls that away and caught. Good stick-to-itiveness.
What a play this is by the first baseman. Kind of a basket catch like a wide receiver. A little hop there at the end. Philippines trying to get the lead.
Number 6, Relaine Evangelista.
My apologies last inning, I misspoke. I said 120 runs in the regional. It was 111-0 that the Philippines advanced through the Asia Pacific Regional. Their offense was just a hair below those expectations.
I think what's even more impressive. Yes, the 100 runs you can't discredit, but it was 0 runs given up. And all the games that they played to get to this point to not allow a single run.
And this is David batting.
The defense for Texas. Third baseman Cuellar is halfway between third base and home plate. So she's basically telling the batter, you're gonna beat me, you gotta beat me by hitting it past me or over me. She's covering the bunt, and Raylene Evangelista is still continuing to show bunt. So a little competition here.
And my apologies, it is Evangelista. They have moved people around since making that first inning pitching change. We have had 3 changes at first base in 2 innings. David is now in left. Evangelista was moved from center to left and is now back in center. So it has been a little bit of a all hands on deck early game defensive approach here for the Philippines. Count is full, 3-2. Grounder, tough. Off the glove of a diving Mesa at second, and the leadoff runner is aboard.
This is what you do when an infield is playing you in slap D. You try and pull it up the middle or 5-6 hole. In this case, Evangelista up the middle. Even if shortstop Mia Mesa got a glove on that with the speed of Evangelista, she was not going to be out at first. They're doing a good job of reading the defense, taking what pitch and sending it up the middle.
And now Melissa Evangelista, who plays Little League, she said, because she wants to go to the United States. Well, Melissa, I have great news. You've done it. The 14-year-old also plays badminton. Takes a strike. That's something that's notable about the Philippines, by the way. A lot of these athletes use Little League softball as a way to get to college to play softball. And you think, well, yeah, okay, they're going to come to America and play in the NCAA. No, they actually want to play college softball in the Philippines. It's a really big deal for the University Athletic Association of the Philippines. It's like the NCAA of the Philippines. They have 21 sports, of which badminton is also one of them. So is esports, taekwondo, and street dance. Got a lot of athletic offerings, but softball is the path for many of these athletes.
Yeah, a lot of the athletes' forums, including the coaches, they said that they play for their big dream. And when we met with them earlier this week, we asked them specifically, what is that big dream? And you said it, Joel, it is getting to go to college to play your sport.
Evangelista down to second on the ball that gets away. A lot of them want to go to the University of the Philippines.
Just a big deal for them to be able to get their education while playing a sport.
Hard contact to a shallow center field. Nuncio got turned around. Evangelista with the wave. And it's a double to score one. The Philippines take the lead.
Evangelista scores. Melissa Evangelista, the batter. They were playing in on her, and she just drives this to center field. The crowd was on their feet as soon as that ball left the bat. Lots of cheers, and that's something to smile about. That's something to get excited about when a team plays you in, being able to hit it over them.
That's like slow pitch softball. Everybody in, and then you just crush it over the sucked-in outfield.
Yeah, there's no better feeling as a hitter, especially because Melissa Evangelista, she's not the tallest, not the biggest on the team. And so for opposing teams, they're playing her more as a soft slapper, but just showing off her power as well.
The pitcher, Santos. Nobody out, runner in scoring position. Count is 1-1.
And I just mentioned slapper defense for Melissa Evangelista, the runner at second base. But the first 2 pitches of this at bat, Carlene Jade Santos, the batter, was moving her feet through the box almost as a righty slapper trying to drag bunt.
It was 1-2. She's down on strikes. Or was she? Was it actually 1-1? I'm not usually right, but I'll give myself that one. There was 1-1. Or was it? Never mind. It was strike 3. Never mind.
And Carlene Jade Santos is limping back to the dugout. She's the pitcher in this game. Looks like maybe something with her leg. So hopefully she's all right because her team needs her on the other side. But what a pitch by Amadis, just pulling the string. One of her better changeups we've seen this game. She can continue to change speeds like that along with her rise ball. She is going to be very effective.
So Rena Rose Evangelista. That gets away. Here comes Melissa Evangelista. You know, there's part of me that wants them to put the Evangelistas in a row and get like the old school Expos with a Lou, and a Lou. And that is ball 4. Fourth walk, the first since the first 3 batters, which ironically was this trio here, Evangelista, Herodias, and Panteria.
Yeah, sometimes as pitchers, there's a certain batter in the box that is more difficult to throw to.
Runner goes from first, and there is no throw. So they were baiting Emiliano to throw so that Evangelista could try to score from third. Did not bite.
And there was also no coverage at second base, so there's no chance of being able to get an out there. Both middle infielders crashed to first base and third base as the corners crashed in trying to cover the short game.
6 straight out of the zone. 7 straight out of the zone.
And after the strikeout earlier this inning against Carlene Jade Santos, kind of thought Amadis had found the zone, found her groove. When a pitcher is spotting their changeup, it usually means they found their zone.
Why is that?
Because it's a harder pitch to throw. Usually you're either flipping your wrist or you have a different grip on it. And so pitchers, when you grow up, you're taught fastball first, then maybe some movement pitches like curve, and then you try and work in a changeup.
That was a straight line to the face mask. And Herodias stuck in there, tried to take the bat to first. It was a bold strategy.
Just shows the bunt. Able to pull back enough to get the side of the helmet. It's always selfless when you take a pitch to a part of your body to get on first base.
And we will get a mound visit. And a conversation with Amadis, and the base is loaded. Sheena Joy Panteria, maybe the strongest batter in the order, 5 of 8 in the tournament, 5 RBI. She also has a walk on her ledger today. And I don't know if that was Tony Puente checking the landing spot in the circle or if that was him trying to kill a little bit of time.
And when we talked to Tony Puente in our meetings this week, just felt a sense of joy from him. So you know his conversation in the circle was trying to uplift Amadis, and now all the players are kind of fixing the dirt on the mound. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, that sometimes different batters affect pitchers in different ways. Amadis felt like she was getting in the groove, now has walked the past few, so sometimes just need to break up the pace of the game, maybe move over the dirt that wasn't working for you.
I feel like that was the most memeable thing that's happened today.
Memeable. See, if my parents are listening, I don't know if they quite know what memeable is, but a lot of these players on their surveys, they entered their favorite meme.
In the dirt. Nobody moving, at least coming home. Bases are loaded. A lot of 6-7.
Yeah, I still don't know what that actually came from, what that means, but a lot of players' favorite memes was 6-7. So maybe that means they like the 6th and 7th inning.
Or, it's not funny, I got school. Which is maybe my favorite. Just a way to make it 3-0. Do you have a favorite meme?
No. I'm not sure. I guess 6-7 as well. I'll just be right along with all these girls.
Had to be a strike. It's 3-1. And that is ball 4. So this top of the order is now 0 for 0 through 2 trips through the lineup with 5 walks and a hit by pitch. Everybody else is either getting out or getting hits, but that trio, patient as all get out. And it forces Amadis from the circle.
Erica May Gonzalez.
There's going to be some bullpen action real quick. But this is going to have to be a change. Second visit of the inning. Alexandria Gonzalez is throwing out in the bullpen. Unless, okay, so Gonzalez went to the bullpen, but Loera is going to be the change. So the Swiss Army knife of the team is going to utilize every piece of that Swiss Army knife when we come on back. One of the heroes of the regional championship game, Ava Loera, now into pitch, and the first ball she throws batted into left field. It'll score 2. The throw to third gets away. No further advancement. But Evangelista and Herodias both come around. Panteria winds up on third, and it's a double for Gonzalez.
And just a great job of being aggressive. When a new pitcher comes in, you never want to get them or let them become comfortable in the circle. And Gonzalez did a perfect job of attacking. Great bat speed, able to drive one to the outfield.
And now Jax Fontius, who drove in a run with a sac fly last inning. You like that, swinging at the first pitch as opposed to settling in, seeing somebody throw?
Absolutely. Having played at all levels, that's when you find your most success. Pitchers are trying to get ahead in the count. They're trying to be in control of the at-bat so they can go to their strikeout pitches. So what better way to combat what pitchers are trying to do than attack something that's over the plate?
Fontius got it off the handle. Shallow, could be trouble, it drops! Panteria is in. Gonzalez able to get to third. Fontius put it in the right spot.
And this is kind of what you call no man's land. When your outfielders are deep and your infielders are kind of playing more in. This drops right behind shortstop. Good base running by Gonzalez to sneak her way over there to third. The Philippines are being extremely aggressive right now against Avaloera.
The irony of ironies is that Texas got burned last inning, or earlier this inning, because the outfield was playing so shallow.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where
The batter is number 15.
it's hard to pick and choose where you want to play.
Angel David in her first plate appearance of the day. She's batting in the spot that was previously occupied by the starting pitcher, Princess Siason. Pitch away to make it 2-1. Up and away.
When a new pitcher comes in, as an offense, sometimes the conversation is do not let them get comfortable, attack from the very first pitch if it's good.
The bases are now loaded for the Philippines.
Batter is number 6, Elaine Evangelista.
They are the #1 team in Pool A right now. And a quick breather and a little towel exchange. Lineup is hit around as Relaine Evangelista steps up. That gets away. And there's still only one out, Riley. Where do you dig down to? How do you dig down deep to get out of a jam like this?
You make the plays that you should make. I'm surprised the Philippines didn't try. Their aggressive base runners didn't try to go home, but watch the throw after. It actually ended up hitting the batter, Evangelista. The catcher threw it, trying to get it back to her pitcher, Avaloera, and it was a close throw, and it directly hit Evangelista. But I love the sportsmanship throughout this tournament. You saw the catcher Emiliano ask if she was okay. And a little bit of a smile.
Six walks in the game. One to load the bases here. Evangelista walked twice, and she'll do it again here with the bases loaded yesterday. So she now has 3 RBI in the tournament on bases loaded walks.
Evangelista.
And that's who you want up to bat when the bases are loaded. Got a special eye. As batters, especially aggressive batters, when you see the bases juiced, you want to be the one to score them all. So it takes extreme patience. I know when I see bases loaded, you kind of want to be the hero, but it's even more special to take your walks. That's selfless. Get yourself 1 RBI. Yeah, 3, 4 sound good.
They do add up. Off the inside corner for a strike. 1-1 to Melissa Evangelista. A lot of players on this team, with their favorite baseball player being Shohei Ohtani. That's lined through for a base hit. Spin the dial 1 bag at a time. It scores Fontias.
The bunt pull back, getting ready for your swing, level with it. That's a pitch that's on the upper part of the zone. And Evangelista does a really good job of getting on the same plane as it. I like the Philippines' approach. Patience, patience, clutch hit. Hitting exactly the right pitches, not swinging out of the zone. And we saw it coming into this inning. scoring 111 runs.
That is smoked. Deep left field for Santos. At the bottom of the fence, the ball drops. One run is in. Evangelista behind. And sliding at third. Evangelista is safe there. Santos with a double. Narrowly missing a home run.
Yeah, that was just a few feet away. Look at her timing, perfect timing. The easiest ball to hit out the park is one that's elevated. Santos so close to knocking this one over the fence. Did a great job of hitting it where it was pitched.
Batter is number 19.
Great timing. And she started off this inning. She struck out on a changeup, came back to the dugout, looked like she was limping. Clearly, she's okay because she made her way over to second base pretty easily and was able to crush that ball. So Flushing maybe uncomfortability as well as the strikeout earlier in the inning and coming back and roping that double.
And she was the only out. So with that, all 9 spots in the order have now reached this inning. As we go back to the top of the order with Rena Rose of Evangelista. The inning has gone single, double, strikeout, walk, hit by pitch, walk, double, single, walk, 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 double.
And if you translate that into hitting terms, it's patience, patience, hit, going back and forth. So the Philippines have done a really good job of taking what Texas is giving them and not trying to swing out of their shoes, not getting themselves out.
On a line and foul. It's also nearly bingo. Not only has everybody reached, but also everybody has now scored except for Santos.
That was close to being down the line. There's been a lot of balls hit to left field, not as many hit to right. Philippines have a lot of lefties, but they do a really good job of kind of peppering it to the left side of the field. Some of them are slapping, a lot of them swinging away for power. We really haven't seen something hit hard to right field.
Chopper towards second. Mesa has it skip on her. Santos stops at third. Evangelista scores for the second time this inning. And we are now into run rule territory for the Philippines.
Look how she goes down and gets this ball. When your back knee gets below a pitch on the down part of the zone, it allows your barrel to be more on plane, and that allowed her to hit the ball harder, make it for a tough play.
11-1, bottom 2. It is 10 runs after 5. But we're in that territory with Herodias due up.
That was a good take by Herodias, especially in the count that she was in. That pitch was on the top part of her strike zone. And when we talk about the patience is not just taking your walk, but also not swinging at pitchers' pitches and allowing yourself to get out.
I mean, that wasn't a full swing and it sounded hard. Out 6-3. That is out number 2 of the inning, but it's also an RBI. Drives in Santos from third, so now everybody in the order has scored this inning.
Yeah, whatever it takes. A little peppered swing. The infield for Texas is playing back. Not a chance to get the runner out at home. So the Philippines just continuing to score runs, manufacture runs any way they can.
Sheena Joy Panteria. Little Dinker back to the mound. And the out recorded 1-3. So after all that, the threat closes. 15 come to the plate. 11 score for the Philippines. Little League is the most trusted youth sports organization in the world, keeping baseball and softball accessible for all kids. But its real power comes from you. So help us rally Little League by texting RALLY to 345-345. Standard text messaging rates apply. We move into the third inning, where pitcher Eva Loera will lead things off after an 11-run outburst for the Philippines. Well, the first time we've seen the Philippines in person, we knew about their offensive prowess. 111 runs scored in the regional. What have you seen so far?
It's a ton of great at-bats, honestly. They have really strung things together. I really like the patience that they've had. So when you get into ball games where your teammates in front and behind are getting hits, as a batter, you often want to do the same thing, but it takes real patience to be able to take your walks when given, when you could easily just try and swing for the fences like your other teammates are doing.
Line out back to the pitcher, first time through for Loera. First time she's faced Santos. I mean, to think of the fact that the Philippines pulled their starting pitcher 3 batters in, how quickly games can turn. 2-0 from Santos. And she's behind 3-0. There's that old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If you're Texas, you're not going to get 11 runs back in an instant.
And after that last pitch, you saw a little bit of uncomfortability in the circle by Santos. When we go back to last inning, she had 2 at-bats. First at-bat, she struck out on changeup, limped back to the dugout, almost like she tweaked something in her foot. After that previous pitch, she kind of made a face that led you to believe that maybe that same feeling came back.
Tough ball, that drops. Loera stays at first, trying to get the offense going with a leadoff single here in the third.
And that's one of the tougher plays in this game. Ava Loera inside outs this pitch. Gets a little too deep, but it works out. Able to drop in fair territory.
Second hit of the day for Texas. The first one belongs to this young lady, Mia Mesa. And Loera's hung up. And luckily, safe back at first.
Yeah, it definitely looked like she was trying to bait the catcher, Hunteria, to throw the ball to first. And we've seen that in this tournament. Taking big leadoffs, when the catcher throws the ball behind the runner, they move up. And so that was a really good job of Panteria to go towards the base runner, Ava Loera, and make her make a decision. And then once she's committed back to one bag, then you can make your throw. So just a really heads-up play behind the plate. If she immediately stands up and makes that throw, Ava Loera can move up into scoring position. And then it removes the force that the Philippines would like to keep, maybe to potentially turn a double play.
Favorite food for Mia Mesa, cheese quesadilla. Her secret talent. Flies that one, same spot. Off the glove, going back at second by Evangelista, but a real tough spot for Loera. And she's out at second on the force.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do on that play as a base runner because you have to freeze for this pop-up, especially because it looked like Evangelista was going to be able to glove it. The only thing that Ava Loera could have potentially done is take a few steps off the bag, but the second baseman, Evangelista, was running towards first base. So if she caught it, Ava Loera was too far off first. She could have also been doubled up at first. So nothing you can do about those plays. Just heads up by the right fielder, Jax Fontillas, to be able to get that ball in the second and get that first out.
The old 4-9-6 for the first out here in the third. That's hit hard to second again, and to second base the conventional way. That goes 4-6, Evangelista to Evangelista, and that retires Loera. Who, by the way, we were talking about memes in the last half inning. Said her favorite food was a cheese quesadilla. She put her skill, special talent down on the form as making bird sounds. Have you seen the meme of the kid recently that like flawless bird noises, any bird you want to name?
I have not.
It's an
Look at this.
incredible talent. They're doing it again. And that's why you can get in trouble. So Cuellar baits the throw from Panteria, and it turns into a free base.
Yeah, that's exactly what Avaloera was trying to do earlier in this inning. Bait a throw, kind of dance, and make the catcher make a decision. Panteria did a good job with the first base runner that tried it. This time didn't run as far out in front of home plate, and then wasn't the accurate throw to first base. So it got away and took the force out, which the Philippines used to their advantage for the first 2 outs of this inning. They got the force at 2.
Swings through a fast one. Madeline Puente is the batter. A little bit high.
Looks like Cuellar is trying to do the same thing at second, kind of bait a throw from Panteria. It's going to be a longer throw, so Panteria should come out and make her make a decision.
There's also nobody to throw to. You can see Evangelista come into the picture real late, but nobody covering second, so almost a little bit more liberty for Cuellar. 2 out, 2-2. Flipped to first. Then what started with a leadoff single dies with a whimper for Texas. Nothing here in the third, and it's 12-1 Philippines. Little League and ESPN, proud members of the Aspen Institute's Project Play 6330. It's focused on getting 63% of kids to play sports by 2030. You can learn more about what Little League is doing, get kids on the field, and all about the ESPN Take Back Sports Initiative by visiting littleleague.org/Project Play. I played Little League growing up. Shouts to the Dodgers and the Badgers. The Dodgers were the step up from the Badgers.
Erica May Gonzalez, number 23.
This tournament has made me very jealous that I didn't play Little League growing up. This is such a cool experience at all levels, this being the senior league, but also the Little League and junior also going on. And just the opportunity to play on TV and represent your state or your country.
There's a base hit to lead us off here in the third for the Philippines. That's the second of the day for Erica May Gonzalez. And you think about the opportunities that have been created for a lot of these girls across those levels who have played in Little League World Series, Junior League World Series, now Senior League World Series, getting to go to Greenville and Kirkland, here to Delaware. Talked about meeting the people from all over the world. shallow left field. Trouble. Good play going back by Trevino at short.
We've seen a lot of those balls drop throughout this tournament. When an infielder has to run backwards to catch a ball, it's a really tough play. Trevino did a good job of immediately flipping those hips, moving her feet, and then at the last second, bringing her glove out rather than running with her glove out.
This is Angel David, who walked and scored in the second inning. Batting in Princess Siosin's spot, our starting pitcher today for the Philippines. Her favorite YouTuber, okay, they put the school side, they give her the smart one, math. Here I am talking about social media. Her favorite YouTuber is Mr. Beast. A lot of the girls on this Philippine team loving Mr. Beast. Out on the bunt, does advance the runner. 1-4. Mr. Beast is cool when you're a kid, I feel like. You just watch this guy giving out money for incredible challenges. Like, how long can you stay in this circle for $1 million?
Yeah, a lot of unique videos.
You feel like you can do them, and then I don't know.
When you think a little bit harder, and you're like, there's no way I could stay in this room for as long as these people are. But maybe, hey, some of these girls could. They probably watched enough Mr. Beast to figure out some of the challenges. Just the chance of being selected, I'm sure, is very slim.
Pitch misses high to Evangelista.
Two-way, girls, two-way!
Walked, singled, scored twice, and has driven in a run.
Ava Loera has really settled in. 2 quick outs previously ahead of this count, 1-2.
15 runs after 4 is the run rule, 10 runs after 5. So we are in that window for the 5-inning situation. To your point with Loera, is it sometimes easier just to start with a fresh inning? Like, you come into a messy inning, sometimes it's hard to clean it up, but then you get your own fresh inning, and it's like, all right, let's go play softball.
Yeah, it feels like a brand new ball game when you come in and no one on, no one out. Even if you start in a messy inning, and sometimes when the bases are cleared, it feels like a reset to pitchers. Issued that walk, but this has definitely been a better inning. A lot more strikes thrown for Ava Loera, attacking the strike zone, enticing the Philippines to swing at balls that are your pitcher's pitch, softer hit balls by this team, and your defense having your back.
And a strike to Melissa Evangelista. I've never seen the Loud House. Remember, Evangelista had that double over a shallow center field play. And here she chops one to a deep center field play. Rounding third to score, Gonzalez, and the Philippines tack on a 13th. Wherever you put the defense, Evangelista doesn't care.
And I've just loved the at-bats from Evangelista. The first one driving a ball over the center fielder's head. This time the center fielder is further back. And what does she do? Hits it in front of her. Just a great eye at the plate. A great job of kind of having a pepper swing, meaning you're going through extension, you're trying to stay on the same plane as the ball for as long as possible.
Brings up the pitcher, Carlene Jane Santos. What do you think of some of the swings the Philippines have taken? Because they almost have like guided contacts where they don't get good, full, complete swings, but they place the ball. Now that's a good full swing. Off the glove of Mesa at second. It'll plate run number 14. Evangelista scores, the other Evangelista to third.
And that full swing you were talking about, it always starts with your hips going first, your rotational forces against a firm front side. That resistance creates power, and Santos did a really good job on that swing of just using her bottom half as power. And Joel, to your point of Philippines not really having that full swing, you don't have to have a follow-through in the sport of softball and baseball. A lot of times, if you can get from contact through extension, that's all you need. The follow-through is a motion that kind of just slows down your swing. And sometimes when players think about the follow-through, they open up that shoulder and they spin off the ball. So some of the best swings I've seen have been just through contact and extension, staying on the right plane of the ball.
Back-to-back wild pitches. Runner staying at third both times. Evangelista did take second on the last one. Off-speed strike to Rena Rose. Ground ball. Touched it short and thrown on over to first late by Trevino.
This Philippines team, I think, has hit the most barrel out of all the games we have seen so far. That means they're on time and they're hitting the ball in the correct contact point. The two things in batting that supersede everything are contact point and bat speed. If you can do those two things, you are going to have success. And I think that's why the Philippines have scored as many runs as they have, is they're doing those two things at a very high level. It seems like they're always hitting it in the correct contact point, and it seems like their bat speed has just been phenomenal.
And not for nothing, they flew 13 hours from the Philippines to San Francisco, and then another almost 6 cross-country to Philadelphia, then drove 2.5 hours here to southern Delaware. Like, jet lag, apparently not a thing. 1-1 is high. What's the furthest you ever went to play softball?
Been to Mexico to play softball, but not quite as far as these girls have at their age as well. I went to Mexico when I was already in college, and it was not a very long travel day.
That's another half swing, but barreled and into the left center field gap to plate yet another run. And then with the bobble in the outfield, 2 runs. So Rena Rose Evangelista coming around as well after Santos. So Herodias with 2 knocked in.
Yeah, that half swing that you're calling it, I'm calling it extension, meaning she's staying on plane and staying on plane throughout the swing. And then the bobble in the outfield just allowed another run for the Philippines to score. Now it looks like Tony Puente, the manager, is going to go to his bullpen, number 6. We've seen her quite a few times. Lexi Gonzalez seems to be the ace, the one that they rely on the most. She throws a fastball, a changeup, a screw. Her change is her best pitch. So when we come back, just more on Lexi Gonzalez.
Second appearance of the tournament for Alexandria Gonzalez. Went 2 1/3 in the game against Delaware. Enters in down 16 here in the third. The 15-year-old, eldest of the Gonzalez sisters on this roster, as that's smacked foul.
you're Lexi Gonzalez, you say thank you for swinging at that pitch. It's a long strike. Pitchers, that's what they call it, a long strike. It's always scored the same in the book, whether it's hit hard like that one or fouled softly to the backstop. And after that, she wants a new ball. At this point of the night, we've seen this happen a few times in the tournament where there's kind of a dew on the grass, so the balls that have gone to the outfield are a little bit slippery, so the pitcher's wanting to change the ball out.
The 9th batter of the inning is Sheena Joy Panteria. And that wild pitch allows Herodias to advance down to second. Again, 15 after 4 is the run rule, so the Philippines are in position to salt this away, potentially after 4. That's hit hard up the middle. And the wave around third base for Herodias. That is an RBI double for Panteria. And it is now 18 runs for the Philippines, who had 18 in their first 2 combined, one of the biggest offenses in this field.
And watch how she gets her front foot down and that hesitation where she keeps her hands back. This is a changeup out of the hand of Gonzalez and a great piece of hitting by Herodias. Hitting changeups are hard, especially if you're the first batter against a new pitcher. You haven't seen what pitches she throws, and Gonzalez's best pitch is her changeup. So the fact that Herodias was able to keep those hands back was impressive, and an RBI on top of it.
Underneath that foul. And a good job over in front of the fence to make the catch by Cuellar and get Texas out of the inning. 18-1 through 3. This is the situation for the Philippines. Big time offense means you play less innings. 18 runs in their first 2 games. Still a ton of runs. 18 runs tonight. So the Southwest bunch from Texas needs at least 3 to keep this thing going as we bat here in the 4th.
Yeah, and we've seen them do this before. Yesterday night, they were in run rule territory. They needed a scratch run across to keep the game going, and they were able to do it. So just a team that fights. We talked about it as well in their run to get here. In the championship game, down by 3 in the bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, came back and won. Every player contributes to those victories, and so it's going to take every player to get back into this ballgame and to push it to the bottom of the 4th.
Healthy cut from Madison Sanchez. I stand corrected. Victoria Zavala pinch hitting. The lasagna expert. Behind 0-2. Her favorite Gatorade flavor is lime cucumber, and I didn't know that was a thing.
Me either. These surveys have taught me so much. I feel like I'm more up to date on this age.
She's down on strikes. It sounds like not an actual Gatorade. It sounds like a hydration drink you make in the kitchen.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'll get my electrolytes by squeezing some lime and cucumber into this water. Audrina Gonzalez will bat for Emiliano. One ball and no strikes.
And with this being some of these players' first at-bats, it's really important that when they're on deck that they're getting their timing. Because Arlene Jade Santos in the circles, the fastest pitcher on the Philippine staff, so she is humming it in there. So when this is your first at-bat of the game, potentially have been kind of sitting on the bench, haven't taken many swings since warm-ups, you really have to use your on-deck time to get into it.
Youngest player on the team grounds one to second. Evangelista on to first. 2 down. And Texas is down to its final out, trailing by 17 here in the 4th.
Batter is number 2, Emma Trevino.
And this is Emma Trevino, the starter at shortstop. Hard rip. Texas has taken healthy cuts.
They have. The hard part has been limiting the runs on the opposite side. You get the feeling that if they get ahead of a team, that momentum is going to carry them. They just haven't been in that position much in this tournament. We've talked about they're a young team. They played together for a while, and you can tell their camaraderie and their intensity in the dugout. They're just young and have to learn a few things, go through some adversity. All teams have to go through adversity. They've already made their way out of some tough situations to get to this point. And now playing the competition at this tournament, they're definitely learning how to grow.
Flip back foul. Nothing in 2. As the Philippines try to salt away their 3rd victory to go 3-0 and basically all but clinch their pool. 0-2. And that got her on the arm. So Trevino's aboard.
It almost sounded like, from up here, we are pretty close to the batter, but it almost sounded like it hit the knob of her bat.
Ooh.
Batter is number 6.
Got her wrist.
Alexandra Gonzalez.
And Curtis Miedenberg. As Alexandria Gonzalez steps up to hit for the first time, the new pitcher last inning. One of a couple young ladies that collects Lego sets on this roster. Takes the first pitch strike. Public service announcement, you do not play with Legos, you build Legos. Runner not held at first. Although Panteria was looking to throw behind her after the fact.
Yeah, she's been aggressive behind the plate. A couple smart decisions by her. Texas has kind of been trying to bait her to throw the ball and cause some chaos on the bases.
Pitch up and away, and a throw down to second gets away. You know, sometimes games don't go your way. You're down 18-1. It's been a tough trip to the World Series, but you have to remember at the end of the day, this is the Senior League World Series. So, like, somebody has to come in 9th, and somebody has to come in 10th, and somebody has to come in 8th. But you're at the Senior League World Series.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets. A lot of smiles from Texas as well, so they're not backing down. They're not hanging their head. And they are constantly fighting. They're down to their last out, got a base run on, still stealing bases. So still trying to do anything they can to push this game to the bottom half of the inning.
Now 3-2. The 1 run for Texas came in the first inning. In the first 3 batters, And then they had the out at home that they challenged and lost the review on. So you wonder about just how fickle momentum can be. Swing and a miss. That is out number 3 here in the 4th, and a strikeout for Santos for a win by the Philippines. 18-1 is your final score. 18 runs on 11 hits. The Evangelistas combine sisters and cousins to go 10 for 10 at the plate.
And what a night for the entire family of the Evangelistas. 10 for 10, that's perfection. But the Philippines all around were close to perfect. Great at-bats, great pitching, good defense. Just the team to beat in this tournament, scoring a ton of runs, but playing some defense to back it up.
Now that does it for day 3 here in Delaware. Pool play has one more day coming your way from the slower lower tomorrow. For the rest of our crew, Riley West, my name is Joel Godet. See you tomorrow in Delaware here on ESPN+.